Good afternoon, everyone. I am sitting in for President Fairbanks. We were just informed that he's had a loss in his family. So I will assume the responsibility for the meeting in his stead. The meeting is called to order. Could we please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I would ask for just a moment of silence, particularly for him and his family. He's had some tough losses this year. Thank you all. It's so hard to get these chairs to move ahead. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. So you have a copy in your folders. If anyone has any questions or discussion, now is the time. If not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. It has been moved and second. The agenda has been approved. We move on to the approval of the September minutes. I hope everyone has had a chance to review those. If there are any questions or discussion, now is the time. If not, the chair will accept a motion to approve.
I so move.
I second.
And that has been moved in second. We will move on to the next agenda item, which is public comments. Is there anyone here from the public?
Jordan, they need to vote. You have the
I'm
motion in a
sorry,
second.
I'm
You
sorry.
need to vote.
Okay, so we need to vote on the approval of the September minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay, none, then the motion passes. Now we ask for public comments, and I see no one else from the public here. So we will move on to board member reports. This is finance committee meetings. That's why I was
done.
confused. That's something totally different. Put me on the spot, folks. Any board member reports? Seeing none, we will move on to the financial report. Miss Stacy is here.
Yes, ma'am. How are y'all today?
Very good.
Thank you for being patient while I was out. So the September report is in your packet. We have been doing a little bit of changing in our system and cleaning up some more of 2009 things that were sitting around that we've now cleared out. We've also been working with AT&T on getting some things cleaned up as well. So the only thing on the balance sheet that I want to call your attention to is under liabilities. If you'll see, there's accounts payable where there was a negative last month. What I have done is separate out those credits that we have managed to get from AT&T for the different telephone lines, for the internet, for the hotspots and everything. So I separated that out of the accounts payable into its own category. So accounts payable, you'll see is 0 right now because there are no invoices sitting in the system to be paid because they've already been paid. But on the accounts payable credits, if you'll see, there's a $61,000 credit across the board from all our accounts that I've managed to pull together. The employee deductions is at 40 right now, but that is because we end up with a paycheck at the very, very end of the month, and then we have some bills that need to be paid that didn't get in until the 1st of October. That is really the only big difference we have in this sheet. Everything else is just the reductions that from the invoices we've paid and the revenues that's come in. Does anybody have any questions
It's a
on
great,
this one?
great reduction. I can pat yourself on the back.
Thank you.
For those who were not in the finance meeting, those credits are the product of Stacy tirelessly getting after AT&T and also going after our things for E-rate and getting some old phone lines taken off of there for which we had been being charged for quite a long time, as well as clarifying some other items. And she's worked tirelessly since she's been appointed to the position to get that done.
Thank you.
And getting our tax exempt accounts
Yes.
set up.
Set up properly.
And we got a refund of taxes we paid in this year on those
That's
lines as
great.
well.
Yes.
That's great.
Alright, if nobody has any questions on that, we'll jump over to the operating statements. So the first little area is our revenue. As you can see, it's a very small amount that's coming in. The E-rate refund, a little bit of taxes and a little bit of the branch income. But we are getting toward the end of the year where most of our revenue has come in. And then in December, we'll start seeing the last of it, and then getting ready for the new year, we'll get the big check. Alright, so we can jump over to the next page if no one has any questions on the revenue. In this one, you'll see where, we've got the, like on 4119 on the internet, that's where some of our refunds came in at, some of our credits that we got from different companies, because we actually have multiple companies when it comes to the internet stuff. You'll also see on 4110, the cable was, it looks normal, but we did have like a second, from last month that didn't get paid because the bill didn't come in till late. But we also got a refund from them from 2019, saying that was sitting there. So, it kind of balances itself out there. That's what I
What
said.
cable company is it?
That was suddenly, yes
Well,
ma'am.
why are you surprised?
More than likely, they caught it because of the audit due to the changeover of companies. So, but it was like, hey, a nice surprise, look at that, we balanced out today. But most everything is the basics. There'll be some in here from the changes. You'll see a -500 in the parking lot for boys, because they sent the check back, because of the fact that we didn't actually need to pay for the rent, because we end up with a co-op agreement with them for the building that we had sitting on their lot. And since now they have the building, we don't need to pay the rent on the lot to keep it there. So they actually sent the check back and said, yeah, you don't need to, and I was like, Celeste, what did you do without me?
I was like, we finally got that cooperative agreement signed, and that is for that portable building. It was not of value enough to try to attempt to move. The cost to move it would have been far exceeding, so our lawyer drafted a cooperative agreement so that we would in turn get some yard maintenance, some additional yard maintenance at our new Boyce location in exchange for that facility.
Are
good.
they using it? Is the city
Yes.
using it?
Yes, they are. From my understanding, I believe it's going to be used for some type of police training. I believe. That was what I was hearing.
Win-win both ways.
We did have that increase in utilities as well, 4105. I'm pretty sure y'all have all been hit as well. So y'all can imagine what ours is. I wanna say last month, because they were doing that estimated for a little while, it caught up last month, so last month's bill for here was 4,000. So we are seeing a little bit of the jump now in the utilities. I think we're gonna be very close with what is left in the budget, but we're not gonna be extremely over. So we managed to nicely squeak in there. standard. Does anybody see anything they question? If not, then we can say yay.
I believe Ms. June has, from the finance committee. Did we do that now?
Are we gonna jump into that? Are we gonna wait
Oh,
till
no,
later?
that's later, I'm sorry, that is later, my apologies. My apologies, my apologies, I stressed you too early. Continue.
No, we're at the point if nobody has any questions.
Right, if there are no questions, then the chair will entertain a motion to approve the financial report.
Make a motion to approve the financial report.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the financial report. Are you ready for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Stacy.
thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. And moving on, we come to Ms. Elise's director's report.
Yes,
please.
and it is very brief since we moved this, this meeting up, so it's much more brief than normal. Just a few updates. We have experienced a few issues with the Johnson Branch location in LeCount due to the age of the school in which it's located. We're currently exploring some remedies for the issues, things like some pest damage to items, things of that nature. So we're looking at possible other facilities, because we've tried abating the issue, but it seems to be a much more far-reaching problem, so we're looking for alternatives. In other negative news, this is not included in there because this happened yesterday. We discovered that 3 of the 4 air conditioning units at our King Branch had been tampered with and damaged. One of them had been fully gutted, and 2 of them had some damage, which is repairable. But we are now going to be finding housing, better housing for those units so that they're more protected and to prevent future issues. Unfortunately, we were not the only ones in the area who were struck by this. Several other local businesses had similar issues.
Was
happen
it
to them.
Copperfit?
It was.
Yes.
It was. It was.
We're also looking at putting, the nighttime light up so that it shines brightly across it all during the night, and we're also putting cameras.
Cameras, an additional camera back there. So, we're trying those remedies, but yes, it's becoming a much more widespread problem, unfortunately, and so we're just trying to address it as we can. So that's what we have unfortunately going on with our facilities right now. Everyone else is doing fine. We have, of course, our board training, which is going to be immediately preceding our November 15th board meeting. We have representatives from the State Library of Louisiana who will be here, and I implore you all to please be here if you're able. The training is going to be approximately 2.5 to 3 hours, and it's going to end just before our Finance Committee meeting, which will begin at 3. So, and this is to review the various guidelines for library board members, the state statutes, all the things from the legislative auditor, just all of the need to knows, which you have in your board binders, but it's sometimes nice to be able to ask questions. I know that attending the director's training that I went to a few weeks back was really helpful for me, so I think this will be very helpful.
And it will be here.
Yes,
correct?
yes, they're coming here to us. So it's very convenient. You don't have to drive to Baton Rouge. It's going to be here. And it's going to begin at noon, and there will be some refreshments for you all, and we'll take a little break in between. So I hope you all can attend. And then, of course, we have our staff training day, which is going to be on November the 7th. We have speakers who are going to talk about interlibrary loan request processes. They're going to talk about de-escalation of tense interactions, updates regarding the State Library of Louisiana and our databases, and lots of different informational sessions. So I know a lot of our staff are really looking forward to that. And then finally, in your packet, you should have your annual committee volunteer form. Please complete that and sign up on there and let us know what you would like. And please read the instructions so that you know what you're volunteering for, because it is a numeric system this year, just to see what people's preferences are. And so that I can get you, you may not get your first choice, but I can at least get you into your second. So just get that filled out and turned in, if not before, by the November meeting. So you can bring it with you if you'd like. All right, and that's all that I have today.
Thank you very much. Is Ms. Lene is not
No,
here?
she and Jackie are not here today.
Okay, so do we have anyone to give a direct?
I can give a brief direct services report. Aside from the issues with the branch vandalism and theft, we have been doing really well. Our branches are fully staffed now that we had hired on the floating clerks, and things are going well with the new programming, and we are seeing an uptick in circulation, so things are going well.
And the next item on the agenda is the Human Resources Report, but Jackie is not here as well. So we're gonna move on to programming and outreach. Mr. Jones.
Obviously, I am not Carla Kirby. My name is Craig Jones, and I'm stepping in for her. She couldn't be here today. But really, what we're working on is winding down Rapids Reads, which began in September, towards the tail end of September. And we're gearing up for Tales Along the Bayou. We've had that program go on for over 25 years. And if you've never been, it's fantastic, very fun. We have a storyteller for younger children, and then a section, a time for music, and then an intermission so that younger kids can leave, because we have a time for stories for older children as well. We're gonna have Miss Sylvia Davis do the younger children section. So excited to hear her stories. And Mr. Brian and Miss Terry Kinder, who do some of our summer writing program entertainment about every other year. And then we have Mr. Tobias E. Taba, who is a Cajun storyteller, and I'm very excited to hear the stories that he tells. I'm really hoping he tells one about a rougarou, or a loup-garou, however you pronounce it. It's going to be at the Kent House, and we're going to have Chick-fil-A and Little Caesars selling food there as well. Not only do we have Tales, but we also have various art classes. We have monthly programs such as Young as You Feel, teen programs. We're making slime at LaBousse Monday. And we just recently went to Bolton High School to talk about some books for the Louisiana Teen Readers' Choice Awards. We were able to actually talk to all of the English students in Bolton, and it was just a rewarding week to be able to talk about something that you're so passionate about. And actually earlier today, I just went to a daycare for First United Methodist on Jackson Street and did a story time with them so that they could see different people in the community. So they had an ambulance there, and they had various things. So it was a really nice experience. So that is all.
You missed the zoo visit.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
we
the
did
zoo.
have the zoo, the
You were at the zoo
100-year
for a
bash.
while.
I was, yeah. Very thankful for the shade that was provided. And we made paint circles that they could put paint in and use a salad spinner, and they came out magnificent. So yeah, that was really nice. We saw a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So.
The last estimate that I received from Dr. Lakes and Katie Hirsch, who's the education director there, was over 3,000 people were at that event. So it was very well attended, and
Definitely,
yeah.
and it was so glad to be representing the library during that.
And it was a lot of fun. John and I went and volunteered for the morning shift, and we stayed busy.
Oh yeah.
We stayed busy. My husband's skill set is cutting out the circles. He was like, I'm gonna mess up the painting part, but I'll do the circles.
That had an outline.
Yeah. Shh, we don't have to tell him
Oh,
that.
never
You
mind.
do the circles.
I would like to get the outline comment off the record.
I can work with your husband.
But that is all that programming has.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When is Zubu?
Zubu,
No, I'm sorry.
Tails?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
Tails
28th.
is
at the
going to
Kent
be-
House.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, from 6 to 8:30
At
at the Kent
Kent
House.
the
Yeah.
28th.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, it's usually the
6.
last Friday before Halloween. That's when they typically schedule it.
Yes, and bring a chair.
Yes, bring a chair or a blanket if you wanna sit on the ground, but bring a comfy chair, and it's so much fun. It is so much fun.
It really is. I have not been recently, but I mean, way back when he said 25 years, I was like, no. I mean, that's how far back it goes, and I'm pretty sure the library has participated since, if not the first one, the first maybe second, third, or fourth.
I'm
right?
pretty sure we were a part of the
From the
inception.
very beginning, okay, it is a fabulous event, and for all ages, really, there's something for all ages. Okay, Miss Jamie.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have just a real short report. I'm spending money, and that's always fun. So I've been buying new Surface tablets for all of the branches. The ones that they have now are old. And what they use them for, not only for a tablet and to showcase some of our online resources, but they are able to use them for inventory and for weeding. So with the tablet, we are able to put like Microsoft Excel on it. So they can go in the stacks and scan barcodes and things like that. So I'm replacing all of those. And there's a couple of branches that did not want the tablet, so I'm just replacing it with a laptop. They can do the same thing. I also purchased a large size TV for Robertson for their meeting room. Their meeting room is very similar to this meeting room where we have a screen and we use a projector, but a lot of the other branches just have a 65-inch TV on a stand that they can use in the meeting room but also move out into the branch. And so that's what I ended up getting for them, so that they can use it in multiple places. And one other thing, we do have a new online resource called Comics Plus, and it's on the website now thanks to Matt who put it there. It's all comics. Jennifer will advertise it next month, she said, and it has an app just like all of our other online resources, and there's a full catalog version of it, and then there's also one just for kids. So that's on our website now, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Jamie. We're gonna move on to item number 13 on the agenda. Miss Jennifer will give us some updates on all kinds of things that
All
are
sorts,
going on.
and you guys, my little report, it looks so very sad. And I apologize for it, but I have been a very busy person, and that's why it looks like that. I have 4 guest appearances this week, so normally you would have that nice full list of media relations, but it's happening this week, so. And Craig actually will be accompanying me to some of the places to promote Tales Along the Bayou. So we'll be at 3 radio stations, and then I will be at KLB on Thursday. But, you know, Tales Along the Bayou, it is fantastic. It's my favorite. But we have a lot of other amazing things happening at the library right now. We have Lawyers in Libraries coming up. I believe that is on October 25th and 26th. And that gives, and that's, I don't know if it's on my paper, but it gives people in the community an opportunity to seek free legal, civil legal assistance. Let me get that in order. Civil legal assistance. So they can contact Main Library or Johnson Branch by the 13th. That's the deadline. They have to make their appointment before by the 13th. to have the opportunity to speak with an attorney on the 25th or 26th. Another fun thing that you guys might like to participate in at the library is our second annual Tiny Art Show. So you can visit any RPL location and pick up a little, I have one at home, I'm painting, I'm participating. It's a little tiny canvas, and they provide you with paint and paint brushes, and you'll do your creative thing and bring it back to the library by the end of the month, and then at all the branches we'll have the art on display for all of November. So that's just a great way for us to be creative as a community, and it's for all ages. I love it. Let's see, what else do we have going on? We still have our Rapides Reads. I hope to see you guys at the documentary screening on October 20th. It's at Martin Luther King Jr. Branch. What is the name of that documentary? It's a very important one. I'm excited. I will be there. Come see me. I'm sorry. And then also, you know, October is a really important month for students. And so I'll be promoting Homework Louisiana. There's a lot of, you know, on our Louisiana Library Connection, there's a lot of platforms too, I think, that help you study for your exams and everything. And then, of course, the free tutoring would be helpful for studying for midterms. So that's going to be promoted. What else? Friends of the Library Month. I think I talked about that last time. Anyway, I meant to bring you guys an event guide today because we have a lot of fun things happening in October. We have Halloween bashes. We have pumpkin painting parties. There's so much. But you can find all of that on our calendar as well. So I hope you guys come out and see what we've got going on.
Is the library this year doing the candy giveaway like they've done in years
I
past?
believe, you know, at their little Halloween parties that they're having.
Some
Yeah,
locations
some are.
I know that the Boys Branch in particular, they were donated a very lovely, and I highly recommend that you go and check out items there so that you can get a chance to win it, but a lovely basket of items, that it's sort of a movie watching basket with popcorn
Yes.
and candies and things like that for a family.
That program is Tunes and Treats. They'll be watching, I guess, family-friendly Halloween cartoons, and they will have candy. I don't know if they will. They'll probably have crafts as well.
But each location is doing something similar
Yes.
to that at their own location.
Martin Library is Martin Luther King Jr. Branch, LaBoose Branch. That's all I can remember right now. But it's on our calendar, and I can just email you guys an event guide.
And I was attempting to look up the name of the documentary, but we have so many events going on that I was just having to scroll and scroll and scroll, so I wasn't there yet. But there is a documentary that will be aired.
One more thing I wanted to mention. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot today. Celeste went on TV last week to talk about Digital Inclusion Week. That is, digital inclusion is what is the library doing to make sure that we are ensuring digital equity in our community. And, you know, we've been doing digital inclusion tasks for forever because we're the library. We provide internet, we provide computers, all of those things. But we're excited because we're part of a pilot program with the state where we have a grant. Celeste, would you like to talk more about this? That's why you talked about it the other day.
You're doing fine, but yes, we are one of 5 pilot site libraries who have access to supplemental monies for staff training, which, as Stacy had commented about, we're using that for part of our budget for training in the 3rd quarter, as well as supplementing our classes. And the whole purpose of this project, we also have access to the North Star Digital Literacy, I don't know if all of you saw the announcement about the broadband expansion that's going to be coming to the state of Louisiana. It is a across-the-board project, I guess you would say, of the Louisiana legislature, that we have legislators from across the political spectrum who are working together, as well as people in business and others who are trying to make this happen, so that internet access is treated more like our utilities, where everyone has access and has the ability to utilize internet. This is important because in the coming years, jobs, healthcare, all of these things are going to become much more readily available online, and having particularly our rural communities where people cannot necessarily travel, having access is direly important. So I'm really proud we're one of the 5 pilot sites that's helping to spread information and to be training sites. And as Jennifer pointed out, for years we have offered classes, we've offered technology petting zoos, we've offered trainings, but now we have this additional North Star application where people can gauge their own skills. They can also take tests, and we can proctor them. In fact, I proctored my first one last week. And they can be proctored to test their own skills and to see how they stack up and receive certificates for the trainings. And it's everything ranging from Microsoft Publisher and Excel to safe web navigation. So it's a whole host of different trainings, and it supports the learning aspect, but also it supports finding out what you don't know and where the holes in your knowledge are, so that we can better prepare our community for whenever they have the opportunity for widespread access. Because having all of the access in the world does you no good if you're not prepared for it.
Right. I just love it, because if people don't know how to use the internet, I mean, that's hard to imagine. Not knowing how to use, but there are people out there who don't, and how are they going to find a job? That's how you find a job these days, is on the internet. So anyway, I love that, and I'm glad we're participating in it.
And also, the name of the documentary is A Dream Delivered.
Thank you. It was in my brain somewhere.
Thank you, Miss Jennifer.
Thank you.
Is there any old business? Hearing none, is there any new business? If not,
We have
We have 2 items.
we have 2 items actually on the new business,
I'm sorry, okay, so the committees, which we talked about.
which we've already actually talked about. Just a reminder, please get those back to me at the next meeting, if not prior.
And the amended budget.
That
which-
goes over to Ms. June.
The Finance Committee met prior to this meeting and approved bringing the amended 2022 budget to the full board. And we'd like to call for a motion.
And for those who haven't got their copy at this time, there we go. It's our amended budget.
You have one, you need one.
Does it include all the extra money that you found?
Yes, ma'am. It's gonna be used though. We're playing
So we
around
can't
with the
say
budget.
extra money. It's
No.
spent.
And it has been rearranged. I brought to the committee the rearrangement of a few items, due to increased costs that we've had this year. The fact that our option for voice rental fell through, so we are required to fulfill our contract. The voice lot, we rearranged the money just to pay up to where we stop at, so that we have a 0 balance for the year. We just made a few moves on all the money, so we didn't have to actually dip into our fund budget or contingency or anything of that nature. So we're just moving the money where it's not needed to where it ended up being needed, such as gasoline, vehicle maintenance, things that have unexpected expenses that were gone up or doubled. So, does anybody have any questions? If they read over the first page, there's the notes for it. If you see the top, these are increases we've had, and then the decreases to offset it are at the bottom. And you'll see the telephone, internet, and hotspot picked up quite a bit by having a lot of extra sitting there. Since we have all the credits, the budget that we set for this year is nicely padded, so we can move some of that and still, with the credits, maintain for the year.
Is there any questions or discussion other than that? If not, we'd like to call for a motion on this.
I so move that we accept this, the amendment.
Second. All in favor?
Are you ready for the question?
All in favor?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion to approve the amended budget passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And the last item before adjournment is the next meeting date, which is November 15th here at Westside. And the training starts at 12 until about 2:30 or,
Until about 2:45, 3 o'clock, and then at 3 we'll have the finance committee meeting.
and then 3:30.
And 3:30 we have our regular meeting.
So you might want to just carve out the afternoon.
If you're finance committee, or actually any of you, just carve out that little block of time.
All right then. Thank you very much, members of the board and employees who have joined us today. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and just as an added note, you all have